It is fun. And that's why I like that Karma effects thing. The only reason why I didn't buy it is because I'm so enamored with my Polybrute and then the pigments, those two Arturia products. To me those are like the polar opposites, but yet the same universe because they're both Arturia. And then I got the Omnisphere.
Oh yeah.
And Omnisphere is such a powerful beast that I feel like anything I do outside of pigments and Omnisphere, I'm just wasting their potential because I can't be good at those two things and still be good at Karma effects and be good at.
That's one of the things you've got to pick your tools. You've got the whole range, especially if you're using cracked software. Don't tell anybody.
Yes.
You've got everything you can choose from, and so it's choosing your tools. It's choosing what you do. So I quite respect that. The only reason that I chose Karma Effects and paid actual money for it. I'm still cut up about that. Is that I just wanted to do a specific thing, and the only way I could think of doing it, I tried in all of the other. I don't know if I used pigments, but I think I tried serum and a couple of others, and it just wasn't working for me. And I saw a demo of Karma Effects, and I thought I can surely do it there. But it turns out it's not precise enough as I was saying in terms of the keystrokes. It doesn't register them accurately enough to have that kind of effect that I was looking for. So I'll work on it some more. But yeah, for anybody who's listening who's wondering about it, Karma Effects is great. I think it's the best modular system.
And what does it cost too?
Real modular system that you.
How much does it cost? It's like under $100, right?
Yeah, I got it on sale somewhere. I got a sale somewhere. So I think it's over $100 if it's not on sale. But I managed to find it on one of these. I don't know if it's Plug-in Boutique or something like that.
Yeah, it's $200 US typically, so it's not cheap, but
no, it's not cheap.
But yeah, so yeah, it's cheaper. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than Omnisphere.
Oh, Omnisphere is about $500, isn't it, or more?
At least I think at least. And I know I paid a lot for my pigments, but not because pigments is also $200. But if you're already an Arturia customer, you can get it as cheap as $40 sometimes when it goes on sale. But for me, I bought the V collection. I got the effects collection, the V collection, like the whole what's called the Belladonna Sound Explorer Pack 2 or whatever that I bought, and pigments was in there, and I wasn't even. The only thing I liked there, I saw some advertisements for pigments and it had some really cool visuals that were really appealing. Like they use like paint pouring and stuff like that to advertise it, and I was like, I like the paint pour. That's cool. I think I might like that. But I realized it was all sales gimmicks. So I didn't even open pigments for like a month after I owned it. I was using like the Mellotron, the Hammond organ simulator, all the different V instruments, and then I opened up pigments one day and I found the user interface a little clunky at first, but after a day or two with it, I love pigments so much that I almost refuse to use presets now because I love designing with it so much.
Yeah.
That like all the other instruments, outside of maybe like the Prophet 5, because the Prophet 5 works like my Pro 1, so I understand it, so I like the design with it. But like all the V instruments of like the Mini Moog and the DX7 and all that stuff like that, I just use the presets because I can't be bothered to learn how to program those things, and I don't like them enough to love it. But yeah, the pigments has become like I feel like I could write a book with the thing now. Like I'm more proficient with it than a typewriter. Like it's such a joy to work with. So much so that like I wish pigments existed in an analog form. Like if Arturia came out and said, "Look, we have a pigments keyboard," and it was like $1,000, I'd probably buy it. It
couldn't though, could it? Because it's too. You couldn't model that in hardware, could you? What pigments does?
Well, it would be It would be digital. Like it would be basically a computer with a keyboard.
Oh, I'm with you. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But if I were to go to like the wonderful gatekeeping community of synthesizer, the subreddit synthesizer, or the synthesizer subreddit, where everybody's an asshole. If I were to go in there and be like, if only pigments could be hardware, they would say buy the Waldorf Iridium. That's probably what they tell you, which is like a $4,000 hardware synthesizer without a keyboard on it. And people seem to love that thing. But again, I can't imagine. Like I could buy a really nice laptop for $1,000 and put pigments on it, and then I have a portable version of pigments.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I could never, I'm really glad I bought my Polybrute, but I think that might be my first and only high-end synthesizer I'll ever buy.
Yeah, there's one that I saw being demonstrated a little bit. There was a guy. I was exploring the whole idea of modular synthesis, and this guy was confirming my feeling on it, which is that modular synthesis is it's not the proper route for me. Not in terms of the hardware anyway. And most of what I hear people doing with the Eurorack stuff is it's pretty bad. You know, it's not. You've got 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 quid's worth of equipment there, and you're making an 8-bar loop and just working. That's all you've got to work with. That doesn't sound like that's not a good return on investment for me. And he had this other synthesizer. It was a Matrix something, and he said, "This is what I do."
Oh, the Matrix Brute.
Matrix Brute, maybe it was. I don't know.
Because the synthesizer before the Poly Brute was this monophonic thing called the Matrix Brute, which I kind of wish I had, but I'm not going to go there.
It has a matrix on it where you can route anything to anything basically. And he was saying if I want to do that kind of thing, this is the way I do it, and it all works, you know, pretty much as you'd expect. And I thought I think that's a better route for the likes of myself. I think the modular, the Eurorack and the VCV VST that emulates it, it's like style over function to me. It's form over function. It's you like the twinkly lights and the knobs and the cables. You like all that stuff, but if you were really thinking about how can I best express the music that's in me, you wouldn't be using it. You wouldn't be using it.
I agree with you. Yeah, like the Poly Brute has that Matrix button style patching system where you don't have to like move cables around. You can just I hold like a button and I turn the knob, and now that button becomes that patch, and then I program like and then I decide what modulator I want to control that thing. You know?
Yeah, sounds very much like it. Yeah.
And actually, that got me understanding the cable stuff more, because like that Eurorack shit just confused the hell out of me. And my Behringer Neutron is semi-module, right? So it's got like let me hold it up here.
Yeah, it's got a couple of sort of patch cable things on it, hasn't it? Yeah.
This guy here, right? Yeah. So, and once I realized what's happening over here, this made this thing like this thing is probably the most powerful monophonic synthesizer on earth. You know, like, and it's funny. Like I watch all these guys like Ben Jordan. I think you sent me a video by him the other day. Yeah, he's the one that got me into the Poly Brute. He hates Behringer. He's one of those guys that goes out of his way to bash Behringer all the time. But his Eurorack unit behind him, there's one of these in there.
Yeah.
Because he knows that this is the one, like his Behringer does a lot of copies. This isn't a copy. This is the original. This is their version of, this is what we think a monophonic synth should be. And the best $400 I've ever spent on a piece of hardware, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. That's why, like I said, I make whole songs. This is and I want to make a video. I want to like put this thing down by the ocean and like take drone shots of it. That's gonna be my music videos. All these close-up shots of my Neutron and cool places in nature. But I gotta get my drone fixed because I broke my drone.
Oh, right.
I have a warranty on it, so I just gotta ship it to China and get it fixed.
Oh, right.
But I agree, and that modular stuff takes away from that. But the one thing I do like about the knobs, I don't care about the blinking lights. I don't care about the modular cables. It's just pain in the ass. I do notice that the level of detail I get through a synthesizer performance, because I have the knobs at hand that are directly linked to analog gear, I notice that I get a certain level of detail I don't get through the digital stuff. I can get it with the digital stuff, but I have to program it like to do it. I have to like set up LFOs and different things and use like my mod wheel to do it. And I find like if you go slowly, I hear increments.
Yeah,
little increments.
I've discovered that as well recently. After you mentioned that before, and you've ruined it for me. You've ruined it for me. Now I hear it all the time.
Just buy a Neutron.
Yeah,
right.
Get
a Neutron.
Yeah. Do you know? I don't know even if I had the money. I've had money in the past where I could have bought hardware, and you know I had hardware for many years, and both loved and hated it. I don't think I would buy any hardware now. I don't think I would.
I don't blame you.
I don't think I would, because it's, unless, I mean, let's say I might, if I had the money and I heard something that I thought that gave me something I couldn't get, like you said, like the step increments within MIDI. There's 127 increments in over any range in MIDI, and you can actually hear that from time to time, these little steps. But I've found in Cakewalk, if I take the MIDI controls, like if I use the modulation wheel over MIDI, it tends to have that 127 different sort of steps. But if I convert that in Cakewalk to an envelope with some synthesizers, I can get rid of that, and that's what I do. That's what I do now.
The envelopes definitely help. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's where like I feel the drawback is because then I have to consciously make that envelope instead of just reaching over and turning a knob.
Yeah.
That's where I get.
Okay, you've sold me. You've sold me. I'll get one. I'll get one.